Hello, I'm Brenda Sanders Passmore, and welcome to Health Bites. Today, I'm here at the Canadian Cancer Society. I'm here to speak with Marlene Mulligan. She's the Executive Director. We're here to talk about the prevention and detection of skin cancer. Hi, Marlene. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Brenda. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. I read that we have the highest rates of cancer in all of Canada.
When it comes to skin cancer, in PEI, we do have the highest rates of skin cancer, unfortunately. The Maritimes have a higher rate than the rest of the country, and then PEI within the Maritimes is having the highest rate. And there's a number of reasons for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're fairly common sense. Part of it is our genetic makeup of the population being fair-skinned, light hair, light eyes,
True.
which is a known risk factor. And then spending a lot of times outdoors here, both for work and for leisure. So it's a lifestyle issue, and those two things coming together end up having the rates that we have. But the good news is we know a lot about how to prevent this cancer.
Okay, so
yeah.
lay it on us.
So we should get right into it.
Yeah.
Before I get into the prevention, I just also wanted to add for the viewers at home to understand that skin cancer itself, and melanoma being the most deadly form of skin cancer, is one of the only cancers that's actually still on the rise in the country. Most cancers, we're seeing the rates decline because we do know so much about preventing and detecting early and that kind of thing. So skin cancer, we want to be able to say the same thing in the near future.
Absolutely.
So we need everybody to kind of take up the charge and take care of their own skin health when it comes to sun safety. Yeah. So I'm going to start by talking a little bit more about the risk factors that we know. A couple of them that I already mentioned, but I'm just going to go through them to reiterate. So the number one risk factor is exposure to UV rays, right? And that's what we get from the sun. There are a variety of different rays, the UVA, UVB, UVC, which we can talk a little bit more later when we get into the protection side. The first thing we always talk about is being aware of the UV index. Right? Which many people have probably heard about. It's really good. It's fairly well publicized now. Weather reports are really good to include that now, right? We didn't see that 20 years ago.
On your weather app
right?
too.
It's on the weather app. It's everywhere. So understanding that once you get to 3 or above, which is generally every day from April to September in Canada, you need to be protecting yourself. And when it gets up to 7, 8, 9, 10, you need to be like not in the sun, right? Like the ultra protection kind of phase. So the first thing is paying attention to the UV index. And then the next thing is starting the different variety of ways that you can protect yourself in the event that you're going to be outside and you're going to be exposed to those things, as we all want to be. I love being outside. I love being active. So there's all kinds of things that I try to do to protect myself. So one of those things is shade. So I always opt for the umbrella at the restaurant, right? On the patio. I always take my umbrella to the beach. I opt for under the tree when I'm at the park. Right? I take a hat, all the things that you can do to make sure you're getting shade and you're not sitting baking in the sun for any period of time, right?
Makes sense. Sure.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. The next thing is sunscreen. There's two important things with sunscreen. Getting the right kind and then applying it appropriately.
So what kind do we want?
So the kind you want is called broad spectrum. So that means on the bottles, and they most have this nowadays, is that they're going to say that it protects for both UVA and UVB. So that's what we mean by broad spectrum. So you want products only that work for both of those. We recommend 30 SPF and above, okay? And that gives you 90%, 97% protection, but it's only going to be for during that period of time that it says in the instructions, right? So you really only get a small amount of time and you have to reapply.
Well, thank you so much, Marlene, for your time. I really appreciate all of the tips and tricks and all the information. It's been a very informative little visit. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. We're happy to be here and be a part of the conversation. We travel across the island every summer doing awareness about sun safety with folks, giving away sunscreens and hats and bracelets and different things to help raise awareness. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Oh, well, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. You're watching Health Bites.